Hi.
And I am so surprised. I just saw your video on Clapingo yesterday.
Oh,
And I was going through my own, and I didn't know mine was up. And then I was going through, I just saw it, and I was like, oh my God, you speak so well.
oh my God! I'm so glad that you saw my video.
And it just so happened that I coincidentally came through it yesterday, and we're having a conversation today.
Yeah, such a coincidence, and
Right.
still, yeah.
All right. So, I had this question yesterday while I was going through it as well, and now I have you. So, I'm going to ask you,
Mm,
what
okay.
brings you to Clappingo? You're pretty polished. So, out of
So,
curiosity.
I had joined Clapingo in the month of I think September 2021 or late August
All
2021,
right.
and I used to take 4 classes per month.
Okay.
And at that time I joined because I wanted to improve my fluency and vocabulary as well, and gradually I improved all of that, and now if I look back to my previous videos, my previous conversations, from that I've improved a lot, so I feel that's the reason why I have joined Clapingo.
All right. So, if I may ask, what do you do professionally?
I'm a student.
Oh, lovely. All right. I believe you're at at a living facility, at your dorm or a hostel.
No, no,
It's
it's
home.
actually yeah, you can say it's home because it's my I'm at my mom's place. Means my mom has got transferred. She's in a government job, and
Okay.
she got transferred to a place. So this is a government house that she's living in. Government.
Ah, I thought so because I was like, this background can't really be a choice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So again, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Civil, and I am from the city of Nagpur. Gonna be your speaker for today. So, what are
Okay.
you studying, if I may ask?
I'm in class 8 as of now.
You're pretty polished for grade 8, I must say.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right. So, do you want to stick to a topic? Do you want to have a general conversation?
We can go for the topic. I think it's that nature and climate change, I guess.
Right, right. Okay. So, then since you already are aware about the topic, I'm going to ask you, as a student of grade 8, how much of a climate change do you witness or do you observe around yourself?
So I feel like the climate change it has increased a lot during this years from I think since the lockdown started and since we started developing a lot in the cities and in the stuff, and since that time the climate change it has just increased a lot because we are cutting down trees, we are just doing pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and all that stuff. And because of the factories and industries, a lot of carbon
Hmm.
dioxide is being released in the air, and because of that the temperature is also increasing, global warming and all that stuff. And I noticed that last time when I not last time a few years ago when I came to a rural place. At that time the difference between a city and a rural place, it was not much. There was a difference in the temperature, but it was
Hmm.
not much. But now I notice like the difference is like 10 degrees Celsius, 15 degrees Celsius. The cities, they are becoming so hot, and the rural places where there are trees and little less air and all other pollutions. So in those places the temperature is really nice, cool and calm. The weather is also amazing.
I'm glad you did find that difference because, contrary to that, well, I was just going through a lot of material to read, and I do have a few friends of mine who are in not exactly rural areas but semi-rural areas, and they've said that it's equally hot over here, and we have a lot of water shortage and not a lot of facilities, and then there are power cuts and load shedding. So I'm
Hmm.
glad you're seeing the difference, but I definitely agree that the difference is there's a lot of mitigation that takes place. So I believe that's good.
Yeah.
So you said that few years back when you visited, there was a lot of difference, and now it isn't. And we are definitely responsible for our next generation. So do you think one lifetime is enough to undo the damage we've done?
We can undo the damage that we have done if we just try our best and try to reduce the pollution, but it's very difficult to do that in a short span of time.
And while you said that there is a possibility, but it seems a little difficult to manage or to meet, as a child, or not child exactly, as a teenager and as a younger generation that we are, what ways do you think we can contribute towards bringing that change or initiating the change that we need to see around us?
So first, I think we can just try to reduce the things that can pollute the air. For example, using ACs, it has just become a very common thing to use ACs, and I think that it plays a very important role in not exactly polluting the air, but it contributes towards global warming, I think, right?
Definitely, it does have, if not a major, some minor effects.
Yeah, and we can just try to do our best to not harm the nature. And as a younger generation and as a teenager, I don't think we can do much, but we can motivate other people who have who can actually do a lot, who are in some like some a post or a good. I'm not able to explain myself, but the people who can do a lot in improving the nature, not improving the nature, improving our actions towards the nature, we can just try to reach out to them or maybe motivate people to not harm the nature and contribute towards the global warming. Means we should not do that, means not contribute towards the global warming. I'm just speaking very badly today, I feel. I
No,
just
no,
am
you're fine. No, you're fine. The topic is definitely something to make us scratch our brain, but that's
yeah.
absolutely fine. So I'm going to ask you something more, um, something that you'll probably be able to speak more upon. You mentioned that approaching people who are at a position, or who hold the powers to affect our actions in the environment. Do you think in the times that we live today, social media is a better driving force rather than the traditional older methods, or you still prefer the older ones?
I think that both the methods are really very good, but social media is just a little better than the older and traditional methods because with the help of social media, we can reach out to so many people at the same time, and it's just so easy to communicate with people. Means we can just make a post or make a tweet or something and just make people aware of what's going on. So social media is a really good platform to do this.
Okay, and do you think, as a generation, we are more, let me get the right one. Do you think, as a generation, we are more aware of the existing problems and we're just overlooking it, or we just don't know it exists?
It depends actually on person to person. The people who are not able to get proper education because of poverty or because there are no schools in their region or that sort of reasons. So those people, they're not much aware of all the things that are going on around the world. But most of the people are actually aware of what's happening, and we are just overlooking all that problems.
And I believe schools have, or at least when I was in school, I had this subject which was known as SUPW, Socially Useful and Productive Work, and we had
Oh,
something known as Environmental Studies. So,
oh.
do you think, first question, do they still exist?
I don't think so. They exist. We had a subject EVS, Environmental Science, in class two, and after that, it's not there.
Okay, no, so I believe I had it till grade 9, and then we didn't have it for our boards. So coming
Okay.
back again. So that's basically what we do. And we had the SUPW where we did create a lot of projects and a lot of, it was a very activity based subject. Do you think bringing in a curriculum, a subject which is so natural and so basic to us, is important, or do you think it's a waste? I mean, do you think it is of any use, or do you think it's just waste and they just want to add a subject and they're doing so?
I think it is useful because we all know what's happening, but we're not trying to improve that thing of ours. But when we are actually taught about all that things in our school in a proper way, in a proper method, so I think that motivates us a little bit to, work on ourselves and just try to help in contributing towards the nature. It motivates us a lot. I don't think that it's a waste. It is very useful because we all know that, but still we are not implementing the things. But when we are told about all that things in our school, so then we would definitely get the urge to do so, to do a little bit for the environment.
And if you could tell me one or two things that you would do or you surely do right now at a personal level about, bringing in the small change that you possibly can.
So I think that a change that I can do is planting more and more trees because I live in a city and in our city we do have trees, but it's not like a very big number. So we can plant trees in our houses, in our gardens, or a small land where it's just there's nothing. We can just go and plant something, a plant or a seed of something. So that is a thing that we can do on a personal level.
Oh, I'm glad that you're thinking. And is there something that you do right away, like right now? Do you do something? Like, do
I
you
don't
practice
think
something?
so. I don't think so. I do.
This is such a guilty topic, right? You just feel like you
Yeah.
know everything, but you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
You just spoke about the AC, and I just turned it on before the class, and like, oh my god, she just mentioned about the AC.
Like I literally have an AC like this one here.
All right, perfect. So before I go ahead and give you like a short little overview of your of how you did today, I would want to know your feedback for me so I can make it better for you or the others as well.
I feel like it was a really great conversation, and the way that you were asking questions and talking on the topic, it was really great and it was just brilliant.
Thank you so much. So, as you already are aware, there is not a major problem. So your every conversation has two parts to it. There's content and there is presentation.
Hmm.
So content is not a problem. You've got a lot and you've got it bang onto the question. There's a proper flow of thoughts. You don't go finish a point, come to the next one, and then go back again. So that's a very good thing. That is a mess that most people do. You bang on onto that. Now let's come to the presentation part of it. Now there's
Okay.
not a major problem, but how can we make it sound more polished? So the
Hmm.
purpose of having a conversation is that what you say or what your brain thinks of and what the other person has perceived are in alignment.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now, while the word fillers is has a bad intonation to it, we have something known as positive fillers or
Hmm.
acknowledgement fillers. So
Yeah.
while now there's a very thin difference between a speech and a conversation, especially a conversation which is opinion oriented. So when
Yeah.
I'm asking you for your opinion, it's but obvious that you're going to give me da points, right?
Hmm.
But before you give that, or when it is a conversation, and you realize that it's only you talking, or for that matter of fact, one person talking, 99% chances are that it's already converted into a speech. How do we
Yeah.
bring about a conversation feel to it? Is we use acknowledgement fillers. Now, what are
Okay.
acknowledgement fillers? Broadly, there are four of them. One is
Hmm.
right. Do you agree?
Hmm.
Agreed. I believe.
Okay.
Okay. So, whenever you are talking and there are multiple points that you want to give, you ideally give a point and you would say, so let me give you an example. So, I believe environment degradation is a major problem, but that's because no one is taking care of it. So instead of
Hmm.
saying this, I would say I think the environment degradation is a problem we are well aware of, right? So you took a pause. That two
Hmm.
second pause gives your brain time to think, and it gives my brain time to acknowledge it. Okay, point one is complete.
Yeah.
Then you say the second point. It's like, right? And then the third point would be, this is completely out of my experience. What about you? You may
Hmm.
not want to know the person's opinion, but what about you brings the person's focus back to your thoughts.
Yeah.
So using this is just going to improve the quality of your speech, because other than that, there isn't an error that I could point out. Grammatically, you were
Okay.
on point.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, yes, the next time you are having a conversation, try using these fillers,
Okay.
acknowledgement fillers or positive fillers, and I hope this really helps.
Yeah, it was really amazing. It means I didn't know this positive pillars thing, and it's really great to know this now. I can use it in my future conversations.
I'm great. I'm glad you would. It's of use to you.
Wow.
Great. So thank you so much. I am so glad to have met you, and I hope to see you soon. All the very best.
Thank you. It was a really
Bye
nice
bye.
conversation.
Great. Bye. Take care.
Bye bye.